Hi there, this is Datila, and welcome to a Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, September 18, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite. I guess you could say tonight's Dynamite was the go-home show to Grand Slam. And to be completely honest, if it wasn't for the fact that they were plugging Grand Slam all throughout the show, I would have forgotten next week is Grand Slam. Seriously, I kid you not. Alright, let's kick things off talking about Ricochet. So as we all know, ever since Ricochet came to AEW, he's been having, I guess you could say, interactions with Will Ospreay. We find out tonight that they're having their match when we got an official date as to when that match is going to take place. So, Will Ospreay told Ricochet to build up his wins, and he has. He's built up his wins, so we found out tonight that it's going to be Will Ospreay versus Ricochet on October 2nd for the international title, the 5th anniversary show. So I'm actually really excited. I cannot wait. I think that's going to be an incredible match. And Ricochet even had called Will Ospreay little bro. So I definitely cannot wait for this match. I think it's going to be a really great match. I think, I think Ricochet might do it. I think he might take that international title off of Will Ospreay. But what do you guys think of this interaction? Are you guys looking forward to the match? Let me know in the live chat or in the comment section down below. But this was great. I cannot wait for it. All right. So tonight's Dynamite kicked off with Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. As we know, Chris Jericho has been coming after Orange Cassidy. He still wants his money from that jacket that Orange Cassidy ruined here. I thought this was a decent match, honestly. I did like the fact that Chris Jericho, at the end, you had him pull out a roll of quarters and he tried to hit Orange Cassidy with it, but Orange Cassidy took it from him and he did the orange punch, so Orange Cassidy was victorious. I'm pretty sure Chris Jericho is not going to be happy with this outcome. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a rematch that happens. But a decent match. I wonder if we're going to get a stipulation match out of this, Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. So we get the Blackpool Combat Club, and basically we find out that they're having a title defense next week, and they've been very disappointed, or at least Claudio has, with Wheeler Yuta. Now, ever since Blackpool Combat Club attacked Bryan Danielson, Wheeler Yuta felt like he did not side with them. You could see it in his face. He was distraught, and he just wasn't he didn't agree with what the rest of the members did. Moxley basically makes it known that he has a choice and he can leave. But what kind of man did they teach him to be? So this is interesting because, Claudio Castelloni, Pac, and Wheeler Yuta are all trios champions. They have a title defense. And, what is Wheeler Yuta going to do? Is he going to side with the Blackpool Combat Club? Is he going to walk out mid-match and cost the trios titles here? Is he going to actually, are they going to do that whole, okay, he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't want to side with them, and then, at the end, he fully aligns with the Blackpool Combat Club? I'm very curious to see where this goes, and I'm intrigued, So, it would not surprise me if the Blackpool Combat Club do not lose those trios titles. But, Freebird rule, they don't have to use Wheeler Yuta to defend, right? Now, Wheeler Yuta says that he's going to, if the guys want to defend or grant the titles next week, he'll kick whoever ass he needs to. But it's interesting here because, he does not have his title, and, you see some staff guy, hand Wheeler Yuta his title. So, clearly he's just not, physically he's there, but mentally he's, checked out. So, again, very curious to see what he does next week in that title defense. So we have Hook versus JD Inc. I was not a fan of this. I didn't really care for this. Roderick Strong was on commentary. This was an enhancement match. Yeah, I didn't care for this at all. So you have Private Party, and Private Party seems to be calling out the BCC. Now, I have to agree with my friend JJ, who mentioned during his review For the Love of Wrestling that this segment and the Blackpool Combat Club segment should have been switched, and I do agree. They should have switched these segments because why is Private Party calling out a BCC when they already said they're going to have a title defense? They should have had Private Party called out BCC first, and then you do the Blackpool Combat Club segment and promo that they did. I feel like that made much more sense, at least in my opinion. Because, like, you have them defending their titles, but we don't know against who. And then, like, Private Party calls them out. Like, I just feel like it should have gone the opposite way. So we get the Patriarchy, and they're being interrupted. I mean, they're being interviewed, and they're interrupted by Kip Sabian. And damn, Christian Cage was like, if he tells Kip Sabian that if he sees him again, he will put him in the dirt alongside his father. I'm like, dang, like he went there. Like, I wonder what this is leading to. Kip Sabian maybe versus Nick Wayne. Like, I wonder what the end goal for this is. Still don't know where this is going, but I think that we're probably gonna get a match: Nick Wayne versus Kip Sabian, or Kip Sabian versus Christian Cage. We get a tag team match: Serena Deeb and Mariah May versus Queen Aminata and Yuka Sakazaki. So I feel bad for Serena Deeb because she was doing all the work here. Mariah May really didn't do much in this match. I mean, she was just kind of there. She was doing her heel character. She was just kind of there. But I didn't mind it. I felt like she's doing such a great job with her character. Now, one of the spots I did like in this match was the 3 German suplexes that one Mariah May did to Yuka, Queen Aminata did to Mariah May, and then Serena Deeb did to Queen Aminata. So I thought that was a really cool spot. This match really doesn't have a clear winner because Mariah May blindsides Yuka with the belt on her head, and then she gives her a kiss. So maybe that's going to be her next match. Mariah May versus Yuka Sakazaki. We get Mina, and we basically find out she's coming to AEW. You guys remember Mariah May wants Mina to come back. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with Mina and Mariah May. I mean, are we going to get Mina versus Mariah May? Is Mina going to take the AEW Women's title off of her? Is she going to temporarily feud with Yuka while Mina comes back to AEW? I'm curious to see where that goes. So we get some technical difficulties with the footage of the rivalry between Nigel McGuinness and Bryan Danielson. But eventually, the footage plays. And, I didn't watch Ring of Honor back in the day, so I knew that they had a history. But this was really nice, especially for people like me that weren't really aware of the history that they had with each other. I think it's going to be a really great match. I still think that from the segment last week, they should have waited to announce it this week because it just didn't make sense. Like, you had Jon Moxley, Darby Allin at Grand Slam for the number 1 contender title match because Bryan can't defend, but yet you're doing Nigel McGuinness versus Bryan Danielson, possibly if he's medically cleared. So we'll see. But it was a great video package. So as BCC is coming down to the ring, they attack Private Party. And Commander shows up to help them. So I feel like it's going to be Commander and Private Party versus the Blackpool Combat Club. I feel bad for Commander because ever since the Lucha Brothers left, they really don't know what to do with him. They stuck him with Private Party, which is, I guess, is the plan for now. I don't think they're winning the trios titles here. I would be really surprised if they do. The only way I see them winning is if maybe, like, depending on the match order, if Moxley beats Darby Allin, like, I could definitely see maybe Darby Allin getting back and costing them a trios match. But I have to wait and see. But anywho, like, there's this one spot during this segment where, like, Jon Moxley smashes a hammer on Cassidy's hand, and I'm just like, oh my god, poor Cassidy. And, Darby Allin comes down and he, with his skateboard, basically tells Jon Moxley he's going to run through him at Grand Slam and then we'll go on to Wrestle Dream and become the next world champion. We had Ricochet versus the Beast Mortos, and honestly, I thought this was a really good match. I mean, I knew Ricochet was winning this, but still, it was a really great match. Like, the Beast Mortos, he's a really talented wrestler. I first saw the Beast Mortos back when he was in TNA as Black Taurus, so I was really looking forward to this match. I felt like their styles were evenly matched, so this was good. But like I said, no surprise Ricochet won because he was not going to lose if he's going to challenge Will Ospreay for that international title. We get a Hangman Adam Page in-ring segment, but before that, we get like a video package of Hangman Adam Page. It was a really well done video package. And like, I'm really digging Unhinged Hangman. Like, I'm really digging this character. I like this new side of Hangman. Like, I think it's such a departure from his babyface character. So he comes out and he's basically telling Tony Schiavone that there were so many people who stood behind Swerve Strickland, who protected him, who supported him. And he was surrounded by people who would cheer for him all the way to a world title through every defense and cheer for him when he was locked in a cage. And he basically says that there was another voice cheering for Swerve Strickland, and he heard it from the commentary desk. Now, it seems like he was about to attack Tony Schiavone, but Jeff Jarrett came out and basically told Hangman that if it's the last thing he does, he's going to kick his ass. Security tried to stop him. Jay Lethal and Sam Singh were out there as reinforcements. So I did like this segment. I think we're going to build to Hangman versus Jeff Jarrett probably at Wrestle Dream. I don't know if it'll be a stipulation match, but it's definitely building towards that. And I think Unhinged Hangman should win this match. Unless what I see happening is Jeff Jarrett wins the first match and just Hangman becomes even more unhinged. So I think that's what that's leading to. So after this is the Ricochet interview, which I already talked about. So I'm going to go ahead and skip over that. The main event ends up being the trios match, The Elite versus Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay, and Konosuke Takeshita. I thought this was a fun main event. Honestly, one of my favorite spots is when the Elite all flip off the crowd. I thought that was hilarious. I also did like the triple sentence that the Elite did to Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, and Konosuke Takeshita. Now, an interesting thing that I noticed here was there was a spot early in the match where like Okada was in the ring and Konosuke Takeshita was like trying to tag himself in. Like he wanted Will Ospreay to tag him in, but Ospreay refused because he chose to face Okada. So I thought that was interesting. And then later on, another thing that happened later on in the match that I thought was interesting was when Konosuke Takeshita, he used a chop to the back of Will Ospreay to basically tag himself in. So it seems like Takeshita is not happy that Will Ospreay did not let him have his moment with Okada here. And then at the end, Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay, and Konosuke win after they do the choreos to, I think, Nicholas Jackson. And I notice another interaction, like, Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay hug. Fletcher and Takeshita do too, but like when it comes to Takeshita and Ospreay, like he's just not having it. He like shoves Ospreay and Don Callis gets in between them, and Ospreay confronts Takeshita. So maybe there's like a match brewing here. I think maybe if Will Ospreay retains against Ricochet, maybe once he's done with Ricochet, he's gonna have a match with Takeshita here. I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that match. I think it'll be a really great match. All right. So overall, I thought tonight's Dynamite was an okay Dynamite. It's definitely not their strongest show. But on a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, I didn't really care for Hook versus JD Inc. Didn't care for that. The Private Party stuff should have been switched with the Blackpool Combat Club. Definitely. I think would have made for a much stronger segment. I did like the Hangman stuff. So I'd have to give this a 6.5. I think I would have given it a 7 if it wasn't for the Hook versus JD, which I truly did not care for. Alrighty, so with that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you can notify whenever I go live or release a new video. And of course, as you guys know, tomorrow is Thursday, so I will be over on Body Slam covering TNA. So if I don't see you guys tomorrow on Body Slam, I'll definitely see you guys back here on Friday after SmackDown. Bye!